Today we've been asked to simplify the rational expression 3 over x squared minus 4 plus 1 over 2 minus x minus 1 over 2 plus x. And there's a couple of things I'm going to do to get started with this problem. The first one is whenever you have a rational expression, you want to factor anything that can be factored. And the second thing is I never like to have my x after my number. I want, x plus 2 for an example. So I'm going to rewrite each of these, starting with the first one. X squared minus 4 is a difference of squares. And its factors are x plus 2 and x minus 2. The second thing I'm going to do, you have here 2 minus x. I'm just come over to the side for a second. 2 minus x can be rewritten like this. Okay? And the easiest way for me to explain this is what I call to explain it backwards, which is if I take this negative 1, what is negative 1 times x? It's negative x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. And so the way I look at this is basically if the multiplication gives you this, then factoring will give you this, okay? And that's always a rule. If you've got two things that are in an order that you don't like, you can factor out a negative. If one of them is negative, you can factor out a negative 1, and that'll change the order of them, or it'll allow you to change the order without putting the negative in the front. As for here, you've got 2 plus x. They're both positive, so you can simply change the order of them. Is no big deal. So this gives me negative 1 over x minus 2. Okay? And then minus 1 over x plus 2. And I'm going to do one other thing, which is here I've got a negative 1. And anything divided by negative 1 is going to change the sign. So what I can do is instead of having this negative 1 here, because I've got 1 divided by negative 1, what does that do to this whole fraction? It makes this whole fraction negative. So I can change this sign to a minus. That negative 1 can change that whole sign to a minus. Okay? So anyway, now that we've got it written like this, I think the LCD is very obvious. The LCD is x plus 2 times x minus 2. So I'm going to multiply each fraction by a portion of the LCD so that all three fractions have the same LCD. So here's what we do. Here, this one already has the LCD, so he just gets copied. X plus 2, x minus 2. Minus 1 times x plus 2 over x minus 2, x plus 2. So basically I have multiplied by x plus 2 over x plus 2, which is the equivalent of multiplying by 1, which does not change my problem. And then here we are going to have minus 1 times x minus 2 over x plus 2 times x minus 2. Again, multiplied by x minus 2 on the top and the bottom. What this does is it gives me the LCD without changing this fraction, because x minus 2 over x minus 2 is 1. So now all three of these quantities have the LCD, and so we can combine these fractions. Okay, well, real simple, real easy. What do we have? What we have is we have x plus 2 and x minus 2 on the bottom. And on the top we have 3 minus x plus 2 minus x minus 2. And that's literally taking this numerator minus this numerator minus this numerator and writing them all over the common denominator. Okay, well, what happens to this negative sign being outside of these parentheses? It's going to get distributed, right? So this is equal to 3 minus x minus 2 minus x, and the negative and negative make a positive, so plus 2 over x plus 2 times x minus 2. Combine like terms. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So I get 3. Negative x minus x is minus 2x over x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay? And then, of course, you ask yourself, can I factor this? The answer is no. Does this cancel with one of these factors? No. So at that point, you've simplified this rational expression. If you have any questions, please come see me.